I never thought a child's voice on my private line would save my billion-dollar empire from destruction, or that I'd fall hopelessly in love with her uncle, the maintenance man who fixed my broken security system and somehow my shattered heart. My ex-fiancé Lucien is hunting us now, burning my buildings to the ground and threatening the little girl who dared to foil his perfect scheme, all because I chose the janitor's brother over the lawyer who betrayed me. The board is questioning my sanity. My godmother thinks I've lost my mind, and maybe they're right, because when bullets started flying and I had to choose between my father's legacy and the man bleeding out on my office floor, I didn't hesitate. They say power corrupts, but they never tell you how love destroys everything you thought mattered, or how it rebuilds you into someone stronger than you ever imagined. Subscribe now and drop a comment if you've ever risked everything for someone everyone else thought was beneath you. I sign the last page with a flick of my wrist. The pen scratches against paper worth billions. The board members applaud. Their faces blur into a sea of expensive suits and practiced smiles. I should feel something. Triumph, perhaps. Power, at least. Nothing comes. And that concludes the Nakamura merger. Nine. My assistant announces. Congratulations, Miss Vale. I rise from my chair, nodding to the room. My heels click across marble as I cross to the window. New York City spreads beneath me, a constellation of lights in the darkness. My reflection stares back. Tailored suit, perfect hair, empty eyes. Vale Tower punctures the skyline. 60 floors of glass and steel bearing my name. The board members file out, muttering congratulations. I don't turn. Behind me, the janitorial crew enters quietly. They move like shadows, collecting coffee cups and straightening chairs. I've memorized the rhythm of their work without ever looking directly at them. Clara appears beside me, her reflection joining mine in the glass. "You're winning again, Izzy," she says. "The stock will jump 10 points by morning." "Wonderful," I say. The word falls flat. "You should celebrate. Go home, drink something expensive." I check my watch. It's barely 9. I have emails to answer. Clara sighs. She's known me since I was born, my godmother before she became board chair. "Your mother would be proud," she says, touching my arm, "but she'd also tell you to rest." I flinch at the mention of my mother. 3 years gone, and the wound still bleeds. "I'll go soon," I lie. After she leaves, I stand motionless. The cleaning crew works around me. A vacuum hums somewhere behind me, the familiar sounds of a building powering down for the night. My private office awaits, a sanctuary of solitude where I'll work until my eyes burn. My phone rings, the private line. Only 5 people have this number. I check the caller ID, unknown. I consider letting it ring. Then, "Miss Vale's office," I answer. Voice, clipped. Silence fills my ear. Then a small voice, hesitant. "Miss Vale?" "Speaking," I say, frowning. "Who is this?" "I'm Rosa." The voice belongs to a child, a girl, young. "The man on the phone told me to find you." I straighten. "What man?" "He called our phone. He told my Tio to get you. He says you need to sign something before midnight." My spine tightens. "Your Tio?" "My uncle," she says. "He's fixing the lights on floor 43. Floor 43, maintenance and storage. I check my calendar. No contracts due tonight. No signatures pending. "Rosa, what's your uncle's name?" "Eli Moreno." I don't recognize the name. "Did the man say what I need to sign?" "Something about transfer codes." Her voice trembles. He sounded angry. Transfer codes. My skin prickles. The merger details. The patent permissions. The entire reason Nakamura signed. "Rosa, stay with your uncle. I'm coming down." I end the call. My heart pounds against my ribs. I grab my phone and stride toward the elevator. A janitor steps quickly out of my way, head bowed. I barely notice him. In the elevator, I punch the button for floor 43. I feel anger rising. Someone trying to scam my company. Someone using internal access. Someone targeting me personally. The elevator doors open to a dim floor of storage rooms and maintenance offices. A single light burns at the far end of the hallway. I march toward it, my heels echoing on concrete. A man kneels beside an open electrical panel, tools spread around him. A little girl sits cross-legged nearby, drawing on a tablet. They both look up as I approach. "Eli Moreno," I demand. He stands slowly, tall, broad-shouldered, with dark hair cut short. Work clothes, jeans and a gray t-shirt with the building maintenance logo. A lanyard with security credentials hangs from his neck. "Miss Vale," he says. His voice is deep, steady. "Someone called your phone about transfer codes." I step closer. "I need to know who." His eyes fix on mine, unblinking. "Unknown number. He asked for you specifically." "And you didn't think to report this?" "I did. Security said you were in a meeting." The little girl, Rosa, stands up, clutching her tablet. "The man was mad," she says. Eli places a hand on her shoulder. "Show Miss Vale the message," he tells her. Rosa holds out her tablet. On the screen is a document, company letterhead, my signature at the bottom. But it's wrong. The curve of the I, the dot missing from the I, a forgery. "This came through to your maintenance email?" I ask, taking the tablet. "No," he says. "It appeared on the screen after the call disconnected. Rosa saw it first." I scroll through the document. Patent transfer, subsidiary dissolution, asset liquidation, a complete corporate dismantling disguised as restructuring papers. My blood freezes. The signature timestamp is set for midnight, Eli points out. "They need electronic confirmation," I say. "Even with the forgery, they'd need me to approve it, through the secure server." He nods. "The email link is embedded in page 3. I swipe to page 3. There it is, a seemingly innocent verification link. One click would authorize the entire thing. "This is why I had Rosa call you," he says. "They're counting on you seeing this too late, or signing without reading." I look up sharply. "How did you know it was fake?" "The distribution chain is wrong." He points to the header. "Maintenance gets copies of major infrastructure changes. This bypassed all protocols." I stare at him. A maintenance worker who understands corporate distribution protocols, who recognized a forged signature, who stopped $1 billion heist. "Who are you, exactly?" I demand. "Just the electrician, Miss Vale." His eyes tell a different story. Dark, intelligent, wary. I suddenly notice the rest of him, the disciplined posture, the calloused hands, the scar near his collarbone, just visible beneath his shirt collar. "Tio," Rosa tugs his hand. "Can we go home now? I'm hungry." Something shifts in his expression, softness breaking through the stone. "Soon, pequeña, just finishing up." I feel suddenly embarrassed, standing in my $1,000 suit before a man who saved my company while fixing lights on the night shift. "Thank you," I say stiffly, "for catching this." He shrugs. "Just doing my job." "This wasn't your job." I pull out my wallet. "I'd like to—" "No." The word cuts like a blade. "I'm trying to thank you." "Then say thank you." His eyes harden. "We don't need your money." My temper flares. "You work for my company." "I work for Vale Global. You're just the name on the building." Rosa shifts uncomfortably beside him. She looks up at me with wide, worried eyes. I force my voice to soften. "At least let me report this properly. You should get credit for preventing corporate espionage. He kneels to pack his tools, the conversation clearly over. I'll file the maintenance report. Security can handle the rest. Fine, I say coldly. I turn to leave, then pause. How did you get Rosa into the building this late? He doesn't look up. Take your daughter to work day. It's February. I don't have childcare tonight. He stands, tool bag in hand. My father's working double shifts. I should report this. Building policy violations, security breaches. Instead, I find myself asking, how old is she? 7, he replies, surprised by the question. Rosa smiles tentatively. I'm almost 8. Despite everything, I feel my lips twitch. Almost 8 is very impressive, I say. Her smile grows. She has the same dark eyes as her uncle, but hers shine with unguarded hope. I turn away before it affects me further. Good night, Mr. Moreno, I say formally. Rosa. I walk back toward the elevator, feeling their eyes on me until I turn the corner. In my office, I call security. I describe the scam without mentioning Eli or Rosa. I forward the fraudulent document to our legal team. I change all my passwords. I work until 3 a.m. I tell myself I'm being thorough. I tell myself I'm protecting the company. I don't admit I'm avoiding my empty penthouse. I don't think about the janitor's son with the watchful eyes. I don't think about the little girl who saved my empire with a phone call. The headline glares from my tablet screen. Veil Global targeted in sophisticated hack attempt. I slam the tablet down on my desk. The story mentions an alert employee who caught the scam. No names, thankfully. But the damage is done. My phone hasn't stopped ringing. Investors panicking. Board members demanding explanations. Security consultants offering services. I've taken none of the calls. Clara enters without knocking. The board is assembling downstairs. I'm busy, I say, not looking up from my computer. They want answers, Izzy. Tell them we caught it. Crisis averted. Security protocols worked. Clara sits across from me. Was it an inside job? I pause. Unknown. The hacker used internal systems. That's what worries them. She leans forward. Who discovered it? I consider lying. A maintenance worker? The electrician? Her eyebrows rise. Eli Moreno? I look up sharply. You know him? I make it my business to know everyone in this building. She studies me. He's worked here 3 years, ex-military, engineering degree he never finished. Father's been on janitorial staff for 20 years. You've done your homework, I say flatly. I did it this morning after security mentioned his name. Clara's eyes narrow. He accessed your private line. His niece did, to warn me. Convenient. My temper flares. Are you suggesting he set this up to look like a hero? I'm suggesting we verify everyone's story. She pulls out her phone. I've asked him to join the board meeting. You what? We need his direct testimony. I stand, fury rising in my chest. You're putting a maintenance worker before the board? I'm putting company security first. Clara rises calmly. The meeting starts in 10 minutes. After she leaves, I pace the office. I imagine Eli Moreno sitting before the board, proud, defiant, refusing their money too. The thought makes my stomach tight. I grab my jacket and head to the conference room. The board members turn as I enter, 12 faces set in various expressions of concern. Clara sits at the head of the table, my father's old spot. My spot now, technically, though I rarely attend these meetings. Isabella, Clara nods. We were just about to begin. I take a seat without responding. The door opens again, and Eli walks in. He's wearing a button-down shirt and slacks, still simple, but a step up from work clothes. His posture changes when he sees me, straightening almost imperceptibly. Mr. Moreno, Clara says, thank you for joining us. He nods once. Ma'am, Please, sit down. She gestures to the empty chair, directly across from me. Eli sits, his eyes meeting mine briefly before focusing on Clara. I notice a small bruise on his jaw that wasn't there last night. Mr. Moreno, we understand you discovered the fraudulent document, Clara begins. Please walk us through exactly what happened. Eli speaks clearly, precisely. He describes the call, the document appearing on the tablet recognizing the forgery. He mentions Rosa without explanation. The board members exchange glances. I keep my face neutral. And you determined it was fake. How? One board member asks. The distribution header was incorrect, Eli answers, and the signature was forged. You're familiar with Miss Vale's signature? Another member asks, tone skeptical. It's on every security update we receive. His voice stays level. And on the plaque by the main entrance. I almost smile. Almost. What were you doing with a child in a secure area after hours? Clara asks. Eli's jaw tightens. My niece stays with me when my father works nights. Building policy allows for family emergencies. Is this a regular occurrence? No. But convenient timing, a board member comments. Eli turns to him. Convenient for whom? The silence stretches. I feel my patience snap. Are we seriously suggesting that Mr. Moreno orchestrated a multinational corporate hack as a cover to bring his niece to work? I demand. Perhaps we should focus on the actual security breach. Clara gives me a warning look. No one is suggesting that, Isabella. We're being thorough. Then be thorough about our cybersecurity, not our maintenance staff. I stand. Mr. Moreno prevented a catastrophic breach. He deserves our thanks, not our suspicion. The board stares at me. Eli's expression doesn't change, but something flickers in his eyes. Thank you for your time, Mr. Moreno, Clara says finally. You're dismissed. Eli rises. If that's all. Actually, Clara says, given the circumstances, we'd like to offer you a temporary position. Security liaison during the investigation. My head snaps toward her. Eli looks equally surprised. I'm an electrician, he says. With military security training, Clara counters, and clearly good instincts. Eli glances at me, then back to Clara. I appreciate the offer, but no thank you. We'd compensate you appropriately, of course, a board member adds. I have my job, Eli says firmly, and family obligations. Your niece, Clara nods, the one who was in the building illegally. Eli's expression hardens. Are you threatening me, Ms. Winters? Of course not, Clara says smoothly, just pointing out mutual interests. I've had enough. Mr. Moreno has declined. Meeting adjourned. I walk out, not waiting for a response. To my surprise, Eli follows me into the hallway. Miss Vale, he calls. I turn, raising an eyebrow. Mr. Moreno. Thank you, he says simply, for what you said in there. I didn't say it for you. I know. A hint of a smile touches his lips, but thank you anyway. I notice the bruise again. What happened to your face? His hand moves to his jaw, then drops. Minor issue with a circuit breaker. He's lying. I don't know how I know, but I do. Circuits don't punch people, Mr. Moreno. Some do. He steps back. Good day, Miss Vale. I watch him walk away, his shoulders straight, his stride confident, not the posture of a man intimidated by boardrooms or billionaires. I wonder again who Eli Moreno really is. 3 days later, my private elevator opens directly into my penthouse. I step out, already kicking off my heels. The silence wraps around me like a familiar blanket. 62 floors above the city. Nothing moves except me. I pour a glass of wine and carry it to the wall of windows. The city sparkles below. From here, people look like ants. Problems look like opportunities. Loneliness looks like independence. My security panel chimes softly. I freeze. 3 short tones. Silent alarm triggered. Someone in the building system. I put down my wine and move to the panel. The screen flashes red. Security override in progress. I grab my phone to call security when the elevator hums. Coming up to my floor, which is impossible without my authorization. I back away looking for a weapon. The elevator doors slide open. Eli Moreno stands inside, tool bag in hand. He steps out cautiously, hands visible. "What the hell are you doing here?" I demand. "Security called me." His voice is calm. "Your system's compromised." "Bullshit. How did you get up here?" "Emergency override." He points to the security panel. Same breach as before, different entry point. I stare at him, heart pounding. Security would have called me first. They did. You didn't answer. I check my phone. 3 missed calls, all during my meeting with Tokyo. Damn it. "What's happening?" I ask, anger giving way to concern. Eli moves to the security panel. "Someone's trying to access your private server through the building's mainframe." He opens his tool bag. "I installed this circuit last month. I know how to lock it down." I watch as he works, fingers moving deftly over wires and circuits. "How did you know it was the same breach?" "The code signature." He doesn't look up. "Same back door, different approach." "And security called you specifically?" "I filed the initial report," he says. "They know I built this system." I move closer, watching over his shoulder. "You built this?" "I designed the update," he says. "Your security team implemented it." The panel stops flashing. Green lights return. Eli connects a small device to the circuit board. "What's that?" I ask. "Packet sniffer. It'll trace the intrusion attempt." I fold my arms. "I have a cybersecurity team for this." "They're working on the main system." He glances up. "This is just your apartment." Just my apartment. My private space. My sanctuary. Now violated twice. Once by hackers, once by him. "There," he says, after several minutes. "Lock them out and flag the IP." He closes the panel and turns to face me. Standing this close, I notice things I missed before. The flecks of amber in his dark eyes. The thin scar that traces his hairline. The steadiness of his hands. "You should change all your passwords," he says. "Personal ones, too." I step back, reclaiming my space. "I already did." "Good." He packs his tools. "They're getting more aggressive." "Why?" I ask. "What's the end game?" He studies me for a moment. "What did you sign 3 days ago?" "The Nakamura merger." "And what does that give Vale Global?" I hesitate. Corporate secrets, strategic advantages. But he already knows too much. "Patent access," I admit. "Experimental medical technology. Gene therapy." He nods. "Worth billions. Trillions, potentially." I sit on the arm of my sofa. "But that information isn't public. Someone knew." He shoulders his tool bag. "Someone who doesn't want you to have it." "A competitor? Or someone inside who stands to lose from the deal?" My mind races through possibilities. Board members with pharmaceutical interests. Executives with divided loyalties, former partners. "Lucian," I whisper. "Who?" Eli asks. I shake my head. "Nothing. Thank you for your help." He nods and turns toward the elevator. I should let him go. Instead, "How's Rosa?" He pauses, surprised by the question. "She's fine." No more late nights at Vale Tower. My father's home tonight. A small smile softens his features. She's teaching him to use the tablet. The image warms something inside me. I push it away. "Well, thank you again." "Just doing my job," he says, echoing our first conversation. "Is it?" I ask, rushing to the CEO's penthouse after hours. Fixing what's broken is always my job. He steps into the elevator. Good night, Miss Vale. As the doors close, I realize he's left something behind. A small device attached to my security panel. I move closer to examine it. A secondary firewall. Protection. Unbidden, I remember his words from our first meeting. Not everything's for sale. My phone rings. Clara. I answer reluctantly. There's been another breach attempt, she says. I know. It's handled. He was there, wasn't he? Her voice sharpens. Eli Moreno. Security sent him. Without consulting me, she sighs. Izzy, I don't trust him. You offered him a job 3 days ago. To keep him close, to watch him. I walked to the window, staring out at the night. He turned it down, remember? Which makes me trust him even less. Clara pauses. I've started a background check. That's unnecessary. Is it? 2 security breaches, and he's always there first. Her voice softens. I'm worried about you, Izzy. You're not yourself lately. I'm fine, I say automatically. You're not. You haven't been since... She stops. Since my mother died. Since Lucian left. Since my world collapsed and I rebuilt it with steel and ice. I need to go, Clara, I say. Early meeting tomorrow. Just be careful, she says before hanging up. I stare at my reflection in the window. Behind me, the security panel glows green, protected by a device left by a man who refuses my money. A man who sees breaches I've missed. A man whose eyes track my movements like he's waiting for me to break. I turn away from the window, from the reflection of the woman I've become. For the first time in months, I wonder who else I might have been. I can't sleep. Numbers dance behind my closed eyes. Security protocols, patent applications, merger details. My brain refuses to quiet. At 2 a.m., I give up. I pull on a robe over my silk pajamas and pad to the kitchen. The light above the stove glows softly. I reach for the coffee maker and find it dark, unplugged, broken. Damn it, I mutter, searching for the manual I've never read. The security panel chimes. Not an alarm, but an elevator arrival. I tense, then remember I authorized maintenance to fix a leak in the guest bathroom. At 2 a.m. because I'm never home otherwise. The elevator doors open. Eli steps out, tool bag in hand. He stops when he sees me. Miss Vale, he says, surprised. I thought you'd be asleep. Clearly, I gesture to my robe. What are you doing here? The leak in your guest bathroom. He holds up a clipboard. The work order said it could be done overnight. I nod, vaguely remembering signing something. Right, it's down the hall. He hesitates, noticing the coffee maker in pieces on the counter. Problem with your coffee? It's dead, I say, embarrassed by my incompetence with basic appliances. He sets down his tool bag. May I? I step aside. He approaches the coffee maker, examining it with practiced hands. His movements are precise, economical. Circuits fried, he says after a moment. Common problem with this model. Can you fix it? Yes, he glances at me, but not at 2 a.m. Why not? You're already here. He considers me, then shrugs. Fair point. I watch as he opens his tool bag and extracts a small screwdriver. He works in silence, disassembling the machine with practiced ease. His forearms flex as he turns a stubborn screw. The kitchen suddenly feels smaller. Couldn't sleep? He asks without looking up. No. Work or worry? The question catches me off guard. Both, I suppose. He nods, focusing on the machine. The security breach? Among other things. Like what? I stare at him. No one asks me questions like this. No one expects real answers. Why do you care? He shrugs again. Just making conversation. At 2 a.m. while fixing my coffee maker. Would you prefer I work in silence? I lean against the counter. What does your niece think about you working all night? His hands pause momentarily. She doesn't like it, but she understands. That's a lot of understanding for an almost 8-year-old. A small smile touches his lips. Rosa's different. Notices things other kids don't. Like forged signatures on fake contracts. Like people who pretend they're okay when they're not. Our eyes meet. My breath catches. He looks away first, returning to the coffee maker. You're good with her, I say after a moment. She makes it easy. He reconnects a wire. Kids usually do, if you listen. Is she your brother's daughter? His movements stop completely. The silence stretches between us. Yes, he finally says. She is. And your brother? Died 3 years ago. I'm sorry, I say automatically. Don't be. His voice hardens. You didn't know him? I watch his face carefully. What happened? Construction accident. His words come clipped, controlled. Collapsed wall. Company covered it up. And Rosa's mother? Left when Rosa was 2. He shakes his head. Didn't want a child. The bitterness in his voice surprises me. This man who seems so controlled, so contained, carries rage beneath the surface. It echoes something in me. My mother died 3 years ago too, I say before I can stop myself. Cancer. He looks up, eyes meeting mine. I know. Of course you do. I cross my arms. It was all over the news. It was in her obituary, he corrects. My father attended the service. He'd worked for Vale Global since your father started it. I blink, surprised. He knew my father? Cleaned his office for 20 years. Eli turns the coffee maker right side up. Said he was a good man. Fair. Something painful twists in my chest. He was. Eli plugs in the coffee maker. It hums to life. There. Should work now. Thank you. I hesitate. Would you like a cup, since you fixed it? Seems to consider, then nods. Sure. I bustle with mugs and coffee beans, surprisingly nervous. I can command boardrooms and close billion-dollar deals, but making coffee for the maintenance man ties my stomach in knots. Black? I ask. Please. We stand in awkward silence as the coffee brews. The scent fills the kitchen, rich and comforting. I pour 2 mugs and hand him one. He takes a sip. Not bad. High praise, I say dryly. Unexpectedly, he laughs. The sound startles me. Warm, genuine. It transforms his face, softening the hard lines. I find myself smiling in response. I should fix your bathroom, he says, setting down his mug. It can wait. I surprise myself with the words, finish your coffee first. He raises an eyebrow but says nothing. We drink in more comfortable silence. How long have you worked at Vale Global? I ask eventually. 3 years. He studies his mug. After I left the military. What branch? Army, Special Forces. That explains the posture, the alertness, the scars. Why maintenance? It's honest work, he shrugs. I'm good with my hands, and Rosa needed stability. You could do more than fix lights. I could. His eyes meet mine. But Rosa needs me home at night, most nights anyway. I hear what he doesn't say, that status and money mean less than family, that his choices serve others first. It's foreign to me, this kind of sacrifice. You're a good uncle, I say softly. I try. He finishes his coffee and stands. I should get to that bathroom now. I nod, disappointed for reasons I can't name. Down the hall, second door on the right. He picks up his tool bag and walks away. I stay in the kitchen, holding my cooling coffee, thinking about a man who fixes broken things, who puts a little girl first, who laughs like he means it. For the first time in years, I wonder what I'm missing. Morning arrives with harsh sunlight and a pounding headache. I stumble to my kitchen, grateful for the fixed coffee maker, As I wait for it to brew, I notice a slip of paper on the counter. A drawing. Simple, childlike. A tall figure in what appears to be a suit, holding hands with a smaller figure. Above them, written in careful letters, Miss Vale and Rosa. My throat tightens. He must have left it accidentally. Something Rosa drew, kept in his tool bag. I touch the paper gently, tracing the stick figures. The tall one has a smile. I can't remember the last time someone drew me smiling. I tuck the drawing into my bag before leaving for the office. The day passes in a blur of meetings and phone calls. I find myself checking the maintenance schedule, looking for his name. Eli Moreno. Night shift. Floors 40, 45. Not my floor today. I tell myself I'm not disappointed. At lunch, I pull out the drawing again. Something about it tugs at me. The simplicity, the innocence. A child who saw me for 5 minutes and drew me holding her hand, smiling. I make a decision before I can talk myself out of it. I call down to maintenance. "This is Isabella Vale," I say when someone answers. "I need to speak with Eli Moreno." "He's not in yet, Miss Vale." The voice sounds surprised. "Night shift starts at 6. "Right, thank you." I hang up, embarrassed. I stare at my calendar. Board meeting at 4. Dinner with investors at 7. I could cancel the dinner. I should cancel the dinner. I don't cancel the dinner. Instead, I write a note on my personal stationery. "Rosa, thank you for the drawing. Would you and your uncle join me for coffee tomorrow? 2 p.m., the cafe on the ground floor. Isabella Vale." I seal it in an envelope with the building's internal mail code. I drop it in the outgoing mail slot myself, feeling foolish. CEOs don't invite janitors' daughters for coffee. Heiresses don't seek out electricians. Whatever I'm doing makes no sense. That night, I dream of my mother. She's sitting at our kitchen table, just as she did when I was small. "Some people fix what's broken, Izzy," she says. "Some people break what's fixed." I wake up reaching for her hand. The next day drags. I check my watch constantly, annoyed at my own nervousness. At 1:30, I reapply my lipstick. At 1:45, I take the private elevator down. At 1:55, I choose a corner table in the cafe and wait. At exactly 2 p.m., they arrive. Rosa enters first, practically bouncing. She's wearing a purple dress with leggings, her dark hair in 2 neat braids. Eli follows, looking uncomfortable in jeans and a button-down shirt. His eyes scan the cafe until they find me. I wave, feeling oddly shy. Rosa spots me and tugs on Eli's hand, pulling him toward my table. "Miss Vale," she calls, loudly enough that several people turn to look. "Hello, Rosa," I say, smiling despite myself. "Mr. Moreno." Eli nods. "Miss Vale." "Please sit." I gesture to the chairs across from me. Rosa climbs into a seat, beaming. "I got your note." "I found your drawing," I tell her. "It's very good." Her eyes widen. "You kept it?" "I did." I glance at Eli. "I hope that's okay." He shrugs, but I catch a hint of softness in his expression. Rosa's always giving away her art. "I draw lots of things," Rosa announces. "Animals and buildings and people." A waitress approaches. I order coffee for Eli and myself, hot chocolate for Rosa. Eli watches me with an unreadable expression. "You didn't have to do this," he says quietly after the waitress leaves. "I wanted to," I reply, "to thank you, both of you." "For the coffee maker." His lip quirks. "It was a simple fix. For everything." I meet his eyes directly. The contract scam, the security breach, just everything. He holds my gaze for a beat too long. "Just doing your job," I finish with him. "Yes, I know." Rosa looks between us, then pulls out a small sketchbook from her backpack. "Can I draw you again?" she asks me. "Of course." She begins sketching immediately, tongue poking between her teeth in concentration. Eli watches her fondly. She's very talented, I say. Gets it from her father. His voice softens. My brother could draw anything. I seize the opening. Tell me about him. Eli's face closes slightly. Miguel was older than me, better than me at most things. Except fixing stuff, Rosa pipes up, without looking from her drawing. Daddy couldn't fix anything. A small smile touches Eli's lips. That's true. He broke more than he fixed. How did you end up with Rosa? I ask carefully. Miguel named me guardian in his will. Eli accepts the coffee as the waitress returns. He knew Rosa's mother wasn't reliable. Rosa sips her hot chocolate, seemingly absorbed in her drawing but clearly listening. I wonder how many conversations she's heard this way. Adults talking over her head, thinking she doesn't understand. It must have been a big adjustment, I say. It was. He glances at Rosa. Worth it, though. I notice the scar again near his collarbone. It looks surgical, precise. You were injured, I say without thinking. In the army. His hand moves to his collar, adjusting it to cover the scar. Yes. Tio has lots of scars, Rosa says, still drawing. He says they're maps of where he's been. Eli looks embarrassed. I say a lot of things to make her less worried. I think that's beautiful, I say honestly. His eyes meet mine, surprised. Something passes between us. Recognition, perhaps. Two people carrying wounds, visible and invisible. Finished, Rosa announces, holding up her drawing. It's me again, but more detailed this time. Sitting at the cafe table, smiling. She's captured something in my expression I didn't know was there. A softness, a warmth. It's wonderful, I say, throat suddenly tight. Thank you. You can keep it, she says proudly, tearing it carefully from her book. I accept it, genuinely touched. I'll put it in my office. Next to all your important papers? She asks. Absolutely. I tuck it into my folder. The most important one. Eli watches this exchange with an odd expression, protective, wary, but something else too, something that makes my heart beat faster. My phone buzzes. Clara. I ignore it. It buzzes again. You should get that, Eli says. I check the message reluctantly. Emergency board meeting in 15 minutes. I have to go, I say, gathering my things. Thank you for meeting me. Thank you for the hot chocolate, Rosa says. I pause, not wanting to leave. Perhaps we could do this again sometime. Eli's eyes narrow slightly. Why? The directness of the question startles me. Because. I search for a reason that doesn't sound pathetic. Because I enjoyed it. Did you? He studies me. Or are you collecting strays, Miss Vale? My temper flares. Is that what you think this is? I think you're used to getting what you want. His voice remains calm. I'm just not sure what you want from us. Rosa looks between us, suddenly anxious. Tio, she says quietly, don't be mad. His expression softens immediately. He places a hand on her shoulder. I'm not mad, Pequeña. I stand, embarrassed and angry. I should go. Miss Vale, Rosa calls as I turn to leave. Will you still keep my drawing? I look back at her hopeful face, at the man beside her, protective and proud and infuriating. Yes, I say honestly, I will. I walk away, feeling Eli's eyes on me until I reach the elevator. Part of me wants to turn back, to explain that I don't know what I want either, that something about them makes me feel less empty, less cold. Instead, I press the button for the executive floor and straighten my spine. I am Isabella Vale. I don't need warmth. I don't need smiles drawn on paper. I don't need a man who questions my motives. The elevator rises, and I rebuild my walls with each floor. By the time I reach the boardroom, I am ice again, untouchable, unbreakable, alone. The board meeting stretches for hours. Another security breach attempt. More questions, more suspicions. Clara watches me with concern as I deflect and redirect. We should hire external security, a board member suggests. Someone with no ties to Vale. Our team is handling it, I say firmly. The same team that missed 2 breaches? Clara asks. 3, I correct without thinking. There was another attempt at my penthouse. The room falls silent. Clara's eyes narrow. When? 3 nights ago. It was handled. By the electrician again. Clara's voice sharpens. By building security, Mr. Moreno simply repaired the affected circuit. At your apartment? After hours? I meet her gaze coolly. Is there a question in there, Clara? She sits back. Just concerned about your judgment lately, Isabella. The implication hangs in the air. I feel heat rise in my cheeks. My judgment is fine. Then you won't mind if we increase security around your personal spaces, she says, for your protection. Do what you feel is necessary. I stand, ending the discussion. If that's all. I stride out before anyone can respond. My phone buzzes in my hand. An email from legal. The contract scam has been traced to a server in Dubai, operated by Lucien's new company. My ex-fiancé, still trying to take what isn't his. I'm so absorbed in the email I don't notice the figure waiting by my office until I nearly collide with him. Mr. Moreno, I step back surprised. What are you doing here? Security asked me to check the circuits on this floor. His voice is professional, distant. Standard procedure after the breaches. I nod stiffly. Of course. He doesn't move. I don't either. The silence stretches between us. About earlier, he begins. Forget it. I cut him off. It was unprofessional of me to invite you for coffee. That's not what I was going to say. His eyes hold mine. I wanted to apologize for assuming your motives. The admission surprises me. Oh. Rosa hasn't stopped talking about you, he continues. She thinks you hung the moon. She's a special child, I say, softening despite myself. She is. He hesitates. She'd like to see you again. My heart beats faster. And you? I think my opinion doesn't matter much to someone like you. It does, I say before I can stop myself. More than it should. His eyes widen slightly. Before he can respond, my office door opens. Clara steps out, stopping short when she sees us. Isabella, she says, eyes flicking between us. And Mr. Moreno, again. Just checking the security circuits, ma'am, Eli says smoothly. Clara doesn't look convinced. Isn't that usually done after hours? Additional precautions, he replies, given recent events. She purses her lips. Isabella, a word? I'll be right in, I tell her. She retreats into my office, leaving the door open. Eli steps back. I should finish my rounds. Rosa's drawing, I say quickly. It's on my desk. I framed it. Something shifts in his expression. Surprise, followed by something warmer. I'll tell her. Coffee again sometime? I ask, keeping my voice neutral. For Rosa, of course. A ghost of a smile touches his lips. For Rosa. He turns and walks away. I watch until he disappears around the corner, then enter my office where Clara waits with folded arms. Explain, she demands. There's nothing to explain. I move to my desk, eyes automatically finding Rosa's drawing in its simple frame. He's doing his job. Is that all? Her voice softens. Izzy, I've known you since you were born. I can see something's happening. Nothing is happening, I insist. I'm grateful for his help with the security breaches. The background check came back, she says. He has a record. My head snaps up. What? Assault charges. 5 years ago. She hands me a folder. Before he worked. Here. I open it reluctantly. Police report. Arrest record. Charges filed by Westlake Construction. The company Miguel worked for. The company responsible for his death. This was personal, I say, understanding immediately. His brother died in an accident they covered up. That doesn't make it right. Clara sits across from me. He has a temper, Izzy. A violent past. So do I. I close the folder. Or have you forgotten the Davis merger? That was business. Was it? I raise an eyebrow. I destroyed a man's career because he betrayed Vale Global. Eli confronted the people who killed his brother. I see little difference. Clara studies me. You're defending him. I'm stating facts. I hand back the folder. There anything else I should know? Yes. She hesitates. The security breach originated from inside Vale Tower. Someone with access to the maintenance systems. My blood chills. You think it's Eli? I think it's a remarkable coincidence that the breaches started when he gained access to your private line. Rosa called me, I remind her. A child. His niece. Clara stands. Just be careful, Isabella. Not everyone is who they seem. After she leaves, I stare at Rosa's drawing. The simple lines. The smiling face. I think about Eli's eyes when he looks at his niece. The gentleness in his hands when he fixes broken things, the anger that flashes when he mentions his brother. Not everyone is who they seem. Clara's warning echoes. I wonder if it applies to me too, to the woman I've become since my mother died, since Lucien left, cold, controlled, untouchable. My phone buzzes, a text from an unknown number. Rosa's school play is Friday at 6. She asked me to invite you. Eli. My breath catches. I stare at the message, fingers hovering over the keys. This is a line I shouldn't cross, a boundary I shouldn't blur. I type, I'll be there. The silence in my office feels different now, less empty, more expectant, like the calm before a storm, like the moment before a circuit sparks, like the beginning of something I can't control. Friday arrives with unexpected sunshine and unusual calm. I spend the morning reviewing quarterly projections, my mind wandering to the school play tonight. Rosa will be there, probably beaming. Eli will be there, probably watching me watch her. My assistant knocks and enters without waiting. Miss Vale, I needs you immediately at. I follow her to the conference room where our tech team huddles around screens. Their faces tell me everything before they speak. We're under attack, the head of IT announces. Same signature as before, but more sophisticated. I move closer to the main display. Code streams across multiple windows. Red alerts flash. Security protocols trigger and fail. What are they targeting, I ask. Everything. He points to a diagram. They hit the server farm first, then branch to R&D databases. The Nakamura patents, I say, understanding immediately. Exactly. They're trying to extract the transfer protocols. How long have they been in? 17 minutes. He runs a hand through his hair. We can't lock them out. I grab my phone and dial Clara. Emergency shutdown, I tell her when she answers. All systems. That will cost millions, she protests. The patents will cost billions if stolen. I end the call and turn to IT. Start the shutdown. They scramble to comply. Warning messages flood the screens. Backup protocols initiate. The room fills with the sounds of systems powering down. What about the secondary servers, I ask, already compromised? The tech looks grim. They got through the firewall somehow. My fingers hover over my phone. I shouldn't call him. This isn't his job. But he knows the systems better than anyone. I dial Eli's number. Miss Vale? His voice sounds surprised. We're under attack, I say without preamble. System-wide breach. They've already penetrated the firewall. He doesn't hesitate. I'll be there in 10 minutes. I turn back to the IT team. Keep the shutdown going. Don't let anything remain connected. Exactly 9 minutes later, Eli strides into the room. He wears work clothes smudged with what looks like chalk. He nods to me briefly, then turns to the tech team. "Show me the entry point," he says. They shift aside, giving him access to the main terminal. He studies the screen, fingers flying over keys. His focus is absolute. I watch the intensity in his eyes, the control in his movements. "There," he says after a moment. "Maintenance access point B12, secondary generator relay." "That's impossible," a tech protests. "That system isn't even networked." "It is now." Eli brings up a schematic. "Someone installed a wireless bridge. See this signal pattern?" The tech leans closer. "Jesus, when?" "Recently, last 24 hours. Eli turns to me. "This is professional work, internal." My stomach tightens. "You think someone inside Vale did this? Or someone with inside help?" His eyes meet mine. "Someone who knows the building." "Can you stop it?" I ask. He turns back to the screen. "Not remotely. I need physical access to the generator room." "I'll take you," I say, already moving toward the door. Clara blocks my path. I didn't even notice her enter. "Security will escort Mr. Moreno." "I'm going," I state firmly. "This is my company." Clara's eyes narrow. "At least take actual security personnel." "Mr. Moreno is security," I remind her. "Your suggestion, remember." I brush past her, Eli following close behind. In the elevator, I punch the button for the basement. We descend in tense silence. "Rosa's play," I say suddenly. "Will you make it?" He glances at his watch. "If we resolve this quickly." "I'm sorry." "Don't be." His expression softens briefly. "She'll understand." The elevator doors open to the dim concrete cavern of the basement. Emergency lights cast long shadows across industrial equipment. The generators hum behind heavy metal doors. "This way," Eli says, leading confidently through the maze of machinery. We reach a secure door marked Generator Control B12. Eli swipes his maintenance badge. The light remains red. "They've changed the access protocols," he mutters. "Allow me." I press my palm against the scanner. CEO override. The light turns green. Inside, the noise increases tenfold. 3 massive generators power the building's critical systems. Beside them, smaller units control specific functions. Eli moves straight to the furthest unit. "There," he points to a small black device attached to the control panel. "That shouldn't be there." He pulls tools from his pocket and works quickly, dismantling the device. I watch the concentration on his face, the steadiness of his hands. "Who would know to put it here?" I ask. "Someone familiar with the building's systems," he says without looking up. "Someone with access." "Like maintenance personnel." His hands pause momentarily. "Yes, or security, or anyone they gave access to." The implication hangs between us. I think about Clara's suspicions, about Eli's arrest record, about the coincidences she pointed out. "You think I did this," he says suddenly, reading my thoughts. "I didn't say that." "You didn't have to." He resumes working. "Your face said it." I feel embarrassment heat my cheeks. "Clara ran a background check on you." "I'm aware." His voice is controlled. "Your head of security informed me yesterday." "Why didn't you tell me about the assault charges?" "Would it have mattered?" He disconnects the final wire. "Would you have believed my side?" I don't answer. He pockets the device and stands. His eyes find mine, dark and unreadable. "For the record," he says quietly, "I confronted the man who falsified safety reports that killed my brother." I didn't assault him. I didn't have to. The truth was enough. Then why the charges? To silence me. His jaw tightens. Standard corporate tactic. Threaten legal action. Force a settlement with a gag order. Did you sign it? No. A ghost of a smile touches his lips. That's why I work maintenance instead of having my own company. My phone buzzes. A text from IT. The breach has stopped. Systems secure. I show it to Eli. It worked, I say. He nods. They'll try again. Different approach. How can you be sure? Because they're still after something they haven't got. He checks his watch again. I need to go. Rosa's play starts in 40 minutes. I'll drive you, I offer impulsively. He looks surprised. You don't need to. I want to. I meet his gaze directly. Besides, I promised Rosa I'd be there. Something shifts in his expression. Wariness giving way to something warmer. Okay, he says simply. We ride the elevator back in silence. Not the tense silence of before, but something more comfortable. In the parking garage, I lead him to my car, a sleek black Audi. He raises an eyebrow but says nothing. I drive fast through Manhattan traffic, weaving between cars with practiced ease. Eli watches, the road, occasionally giving directions. 20 minutes later, we pull up outside a public elementary school in Queens. Parents and children stream toward the entrance. We made it, I say, feeling oddly triumphant. Eli unbuckles his seatbelt. Are you sure you want to come in? It's just a school play. I promised, I repeat. Inside, the auditorium buzzes with families finding seats. I feel conspicuously out of place in my designer suit among parents in jeans and work uniforms. Eli seems to sense my discomfort. He guides me to seats near the front, his hand briefly touching my back. The lights dim. Children file onto the stage in costume. I spot Rosa immediately. She wears a crown of silver paper stars and a blue dress. Her eyes scan the audience until she finds us. Her face lights up. Eli smiles, a real smile that reaches his eyes. He raises his hand in a small wave. Rosa beams and waves back. I feel a strange ache in my chest. This simple moment, a child seeing her family in the audience, carries more genuine joy than anything in my world of corporate power plays. The play begins, a simple story about seasons changing. Rosa plays Winter, delivering her lines clearly despite her quiet nature. When she says, I bring sleep so new life can grow, I feel Eli shift beside me. His pride radiates in waves. She's wonderful, I whisper. She is, he agrees, his voice thick with emotion. After the performance, we wait in the crowded hallway. Rosa bursts through the classroom door and runs straight to Eli. He crouches down, catching her in a tight hug. You saw me? She asks, eyes wide. Every second, he assures her. You were perfect. She turns to me, suddenly shy. You came too. I kneel to her level, ignoring the damage to my expensive skirt. I promised I would. She throws her arms around my neck, surprising me. I freeze momentarily, then carefully return the hug. Her paper crown crinkles against my cheek. Her small body feels impossibly fragile in my arms. Thank you, she whispers. Something breaks inside me, something frozen for too long. I blink back sudden tears. Over Rosa's shoulder, Eli watches us. His expression holds wonder and wariness in equal measure. When our eyes meet, neither of us looks away. Time to go, Estrelita, he says gently. Grandpa's waiting at home. Rosa releases me reluctantly. Can Miss Vale come for dinner? Rosa, Eli begins, embarrassed. I'd love to, I interrupt, but I have work tonight. Rosa's face falls. I add quickly, maybe another time. Her smile returns instantly. Promise? Promise, I echo, surprising myself again. We walk together to the parking lot. Families stream around us. normal people leading normal lives. For a brief moment, I feel part of this ordinary world, not Isabella Vale, CEO and heiress, but just a woman with a child and a man who looks at me without fear or favor. "I'll drive you home," I offer. "We can take the subway," Eli says. "You've already done too much." "It's no trouble." He studies me, then nods. "Thank you." In the car, Rosa chatters about her play and her classmates. I listen, smiling at her enthusiasm. In the rearview mirror, I catch Eli watching me, his expression thoughtful. We reach their building, a modest apartment complex in a working-class neighborhood. Rosa unbuckles her seatbelt but hesitates before opening the door. "Will you come see my room sometime?" she asks. "I have all my drawings on the wall." "Someday," I promise, "if your uncle says it's okay." We both look to Eli. He runs a hand through his hair, clearly conflicted. "Maybe," he says finally. Rosa seems satisfied with this answer. She gives me another quick hug before bouncing out of the car. Eli follows more slowly. "Thank you for coming," he says, leaning down to my window. It meant a lot to her. It meant a lot to me too, I admit. His eyes search mine for a moment. "Good night, Isabella." My breath catches. He's never used my first name before. "Good night, Eli." I watch them walk into the building, Rosa skipping ahead, Eli's hand protective on her shoulder. Only when they disappear inside do I drive away. My phone rings. Clara. I answer reluctantly. "The system breach has been contained," she says without greeting. "Where are you?" "Taking care of company business," I reply vaguely. "With Eli Moreno?" I break at a red light. "How did you know that?" "Security tracks your car, Isabella." Her voice sharpens. "You're in Queens, at his apartment building." "I attended his niece's school play," I say, anger rising, "and I don't appreciate being monitored." "It's for your protection." She pauses. "Izzy, I'm worried about you." "Don't be." The light changes and I accelerate too quickly. "I know what I'm doing." "Do you?" "Because from here it looks like you're getting dangerously close to someone we know almost nothing about." "We know he's saved our company twice now." "We know he's been present when our company was attacked twice," she corrects. "There's a difference." I grip the steering wheel tighter. "I trust him, Clara. That's what worries me." Her voice softens. "You haven't trusted anyone since Lucien." The name sends ice through my veins. "Good night, Clara." I hang up before she can respond. The city blurs around me as I drive too fast toward my empty penthouse. My mind fills with contradictions. Eli's hands disabling the hacker's device. Rosa's arms around my neck. Clara's warnings echoing in my ears. Trust. Such a simple word for such an impossible thing. My phone wakes me at 3:17 a.m. The screen displays security alert in bold red letters. I answer immediately. "Miss Vale," our head of security says, "we have another breach attempt in progress. Systems are holding, but they're targeting your private server specifically." I sit up, fully awake. "Lock it down." "We're trying." "But they're using the same access point as before. Mr. Moreno suggested we contact you directly." "Eli's there?" I throw back the covers, already moving toward my closet. "He responded to the alert. He's in the server room now. I'm on my way." I dress quickly in jeans and a sweater. The first time I've worn jeans to Vale Tower in years. 20 minutes later, my private elevator opens to the basement level. I follow the sound of voices to the main server room. The space hums with cooling fans and blinking lights. Eli stands before a bank of monitors, directing the security team. He looks up as I enter. "They're trying to access your personal files," he says without preamble. "The attack is focused on your servers, not company data." "How?" I move beside him, scanning the screens. They piggybacked on the building's electrical system. He points to a wiring diagram. Here and here, they installed relays to bypass the security firewall. Can you stop it? Already have, temporarily. He turns to face me fully, but they'll be back. The security team works around us, typing commands and checking connections. I notice how they defer to Eli, following his directions without question. He's earned their respect somehow. We need to discuss this privately, I tell him, moving toward the door. He follows me into the hallway. The dim emergency lighting casts shadows across his face, highlighting the stubble on his jaw. He looks tired but alert. Someone's targeting you specifically, he says quietly. Not Vale Global. You. I nod. I know who. His eyes sharpen. Who? Lucien Drake, my ex-fiancé. The lawyer? He folds his arms. Why? I lean against the wall, suddenly exhausted. Because I ended our engagement when I discovered he was selling company secrets. Because I had him disbarred. Because he's vindictive and cruel. And now he wants revenge. He wants the Nakamura patents. I close my eyes briefly, and he wants to hurt me. 2 birds, 1 stone. When I open my eyes, Eli is watching me intently. His expression holds concern, not judgment. The sight loosens something tight in my chest. You need to increase security at your apartment, he says. That's their next target. How can you know that? Because it's what I would do. He runs a hand through his hair. Attack the personal space. Create fear. Vulnerability. I straighten, defensive. I'm not vulnerable. Everyone is vulnerable, Isabella. His voice softens. Even you. My name on his lips still sounds strange, intimate. I push away from the wall. I should get back upstairs. Call me when the system is fully secure. Wait. He catches my arm gently. You shouldn't go back to your apartment tonight. I have security. You have systems they've already compromised once. His grip tightens slightly. Stay somewhere else, just for tonight. Where? A hotel? I laugh without humor. Where the press can speculate why Isabella Vale suddenly needs a room at 4 a.m. My place, he says simply. I stare at him. What? Rosa would be thrilled. His lips curve slightly. And no one would look for you there. The suggestion is absurd, inappropriate, completely unprofessional. I should refuse immediately. Okay, I say instead. Surprise flickers across his face, as if he didn't expect me to agree. Okay, he echoes. He turns to the security team, issuing final instructions. I call Clara, waking her for the 2nd time tonight. I'm staying somewhere safe, I tell her, deliberately vague. The penthouse may be compromised. Where? She demands, voice sharp with sleep and concern. Somewhere they won't look for me. I glance at Eli. I'll call you in the morning. I hang up before she can protest. Eli approaches, keys in hand. Ready? We take my car, Eli driving this time. The city sleeps around us, streets empty in the pre-dawn darkness. We don't speak. The silence wraps around us, strangely comfortable. Queens looks different at night, quieter, more intimate. Eli parks behind his building and leads me through a side entrance. We climb 3 flights of stairs, avoiding the elevator's noise. Everyone's asleep, he whispers as he unlocks his door. Try to be quiet. The apartment is small but neat. Simple furniture, clean lines. Books fill shelves along one wall. A child's drawings decorate the refrigerator. The space smells of coffee and laundry soap. Rosa's room is there. He points down a short hallway. Bathroom next to it. My father has the bedroom on the right. Where do you sleep? I ask, suddenly realizing the implication of my presence. Couch. He gestures to a sectional in the living room. You can take my father's room. He's working night shift. I I can't take anyone's bed, I protest. The couch is fine. He studies me for a moment, then nods. I'll get you some blankets. While he disappears down the hallway, I examine the living room. Family photos line the mantel. Eli in military uniform, an older man with Eli's eyes, a younger man who must be Miguel with a baby Rosa. A life documented in simple frames. Eli returns with blankets and a pillow. Sorry, it's not what you're used to. It's perfect, I say honestly. Thank you. He sets up the couch, movements efficient and practiced. I realize he's done this before, made up his own bed on this couch night after night, giving up his room for Rosa. The bathroom's all yours if you want to clean up, he says. I'll find you something to sleep in. In the small bathroom, I wash my face with unfamiliar soap. My reflection looks strange to me. Hair loose around my shoulders, face bare of makeup. I look younger, vulnerable, as Eli said. When I return to the living room, he's placed a t-shirt and sweatpants on the couch. They'll be big, he says, looking almost embarrassed, but clean. Thank you. I stand awkwardly, unsure of our next move. I'll be in the kitchen, he says, understanding my discomfort. Call if you need anything. Alone, I change quickly into his clothes. The t-shirt hangs to my knees, the sweatpants rolled multiple times at the waist. The fabric smells of laundry detergent and something distinctly him. I fold my clothes neatly and place them on a nearby chair. In the kitchen, Eli leans against the counter, a glass of water in hand. He's changed into track pants and a fresh t-shirt. His eyes widen slightly at the sight of me in his clothes. Better? He asks, voice rough. I nod. Where will you sleep? Floor. He gestures to a sleeping bag already rolled out beside the couch. I've slept on worse. I'm sorry to displace you. Don't be. He takes a sip of water. You're safer here than alone in your penthouse. Am I? I ask quietly. How do I know I can trust you? His eyes meet mine, steady and direct. You don't. That's what trust is. The simple truth of his words strikes me. I've trusted no one since Lucien's betrayal, since my mother's death left me alone with an empire, since I built walls to protect what remained of my heart. I should sleep, I say, backing toward the living room. It's late. Good night, Isabella. His voice is gentle. Good night, Eli. I settle onto the couch, pulling his blankets around me. The apartment creaks and sighs with unfamiliar sounds. From Rosa's room, I hear soft breathing. From the kitchen, water running as Eli washes his glass. This strange space, this working-class apartment in Queens, feels safer than my penthouse ever has. I close my eyes and sleep comes instantly, dreamless and deep. Morning arrives with sunlight streaming through uncurtained windows. I wake disoriented, memories flooding back. Vale Tower, the security breach, Eli's apartment. I sit up quickly. Rosa stands beside the couch, watching me with curious eyes. She's already dressed in jeans and a pink sweater, her hair in neat braids. Good morning, she whispers. Good morning, I whisper back. Tio said not to wake you, she confides, but I wanted to see if you were really here. I smile despite myself. I'm really here. She grins, revealing a missing front tooth I hadn't noticed before. Want breakfast? Tio makes the best pancakes. That sounds wonderful. She takes my hand, tugging me toward the kitchen. Eli stands at the stove, flipping pancakes with practiced ease. An older man sits at the small table, Diego, Eli's father. He looks up as we enter, surprise crossing his weathered face. Papa, this is Miss Vale, Eli says calmly, as if finding his boss in his kitchen is perfectly normal. She needed a safe place to stay last night. Diego stands, extending his hand. Miss Vale, an honor. I shake his hand, feeling strangely shy in Eli's oversized clothes. Thank you for your hospitality, Mr. Moreno. Diego, please. He gestures to the table. Join us for breakfast. Rosa pulls out a chair for me. Sit by me, she insists. I comply, hyper-aware of Eli watching us. He turns back to the stove, sliding a perfect pancake onto a growing stack. Coffee, he offers. Please. He pours a mug and places it before me. Our fingers brush as I accept it. The brief contact sends warmth up my arm. Sugar? Rosa asks, pushing a bowl toward me. No, thank you, I say. Black is perfect. Tio drinks it black, too. She wrinkles her nose. It's yucky. Very yucky, I agree solemnly. She giggles, delighted by our conspiracy. Eli brings the pancakes to the table, serving everyone before himself. Diego says a quick grace in Spanish, then reaches for the syrup. How long have you worked at Vale Global, Diego? I ask, cutting my pancake into neat squares. 23 years. He smiles, pride evident in his eyes. Since your father started the company, he was a good man. Yes, he was. I take a bite of pancake. It's delicious, light, fluffy, perfect. These are amazing. Told you, Rosa says triumphantly. Eli watches me, a small smile playing at his lips. Family recipe, he says. Mama's recipe, Diego corrects. Eli's mother could make pancakes that would make angels weep. Papa, Eli warns gently. It's true, Diego insists. She had magic in her hands. Rosa leans closer to me. Grandma died when I was a baby. She whispers loudly, but Tio makes pancakes just like her. The simple domesticity of this scene, family breakfast, shared memories, a child's whispered confidence, fills me with unexpected longing. This is what I've been missing, this warmth, this connection. My phone buzzes from the living room. Reality intrudes. I excuse myself to answer it. Clara, of course. Isabella, where are you? The board is assembling for an emergency meeting. I check the time, 8:30 a.m. I'll be there in an hour. Where have you been? Her voice rises. Security says your car is in Queens. Are you with him? I'm safe, I say firmly. That's all that matters. This is professional suicide, Isabella. The board is already questioning your judgment. Anger flares hot in my chest. The board works for me, Clara, not the other way around. Your father wouldn't. My father is dead, I cut her off, and I'm in charge now. I end the call, hands shaking with emotion. When I turn, Eli stands in the doorway watching me. Trouble? He asks quietly. Nothing I can't handle. I force a smile. I need to go. Board meeting. I heard. He steps closer. You can borrow clothes from Rosa's teacher. She left some here last time we had a school project. The offer touches me. Thank you, but I should change back into my own. He nods, understanding. I'll drive you. You don't need to. I'm heading in anyway. He glances at his watch. Security wants me to check all access points. I gather my clothes and change in the bathroom. When I emerge, Rosa waits by the front door, backpack in hand. Are you leaving? She asks, disappointment clear in her voice. I kneel before her. I have to work, sweetheart, but thank you for sharing your breakfast with me. She throws her arms around my neck. Will you come back? Over her shoulder, I meet Eli's eyes. His expression reveals nothing. If I'm invited, I say carefully. You're invited forever, Rosa declares. Diego laughs, joining us at the duck door. Rosa speaks for all of us, Miss Vale. Our home is your home. Eli's eyes widen slightly at his father's words. I feel warmth spread through my chest. Thank you, I say sincerely. That means more than you know. We part ways outside the building, Diego and Rosa toward her school, Eli and me toward my car. The morning sun bathes the street in gold light. Normal people begin their normal day. In the car, silence stretches between us. I feel the distance growing already, returning to our separate worlds, separate lives. Thank you, I say finally, for last night. Any time. His eyes remain on the road. I mean that. I believe him. And that scares me more than any security breach ever could. The board meeting stretches for hours. Questions about security. About my whereabouts last night. About Eli's increasing involvement. He's a maintenance worker, a board member argues, not security personnel. He's the only one who's successfully stopped 3 breach attempts, I counter. Or the only one who knew they were coming, another suggests. My temper flares. Are you accusing him of orchestrating these attacks? We're considering all possibilities, Clara says calmly, as should you. I won't listen to baseless accusations against someone who has repeatedly protected this company. I stand, ending the discussion. Increase security, hire consultants, do whatever you think necessary, but leave Mr. Moreno out of your conspiracy theories. I stride from the room, fury propelling me to my office. Clara follows, closing the door behind her. You're emotionally compromised, she says bluntly. I'm protecting an employee from unfair accusations. You spent the night at his apartment, Izzy. She steps closer. The board knows. Security logged your car's location. I was keeping a low profile after the breach. In the arms of a man you barely know? Her voice softens. Is this about Lucienne? Are you trying to prove something? My hand slams against the desk. This has nothing to do with Lucienne, doesn't it? She sits across from me. You haven't let anyone close since he betrayed you. Now suddenly this maintenance worker breaks through all your walls? Eli isn't Lucian, I say fiercely. No. Her eyes meet mine. Lucian at least came from your world. You knew his background, his family, his education. And he still betrayed me, I remind her. What does that say about my world? Clara sighs heavily. I'm trying to protect you, Isabella, both personally and professionally. I don't need protection. I turn away. I need support. Then listen to reason. She stands. Distance yourself from Eli Moreno, at least until these security breaches are resolved. After she leaves, I stare out my office window. The city sprawls beneath me, indifferent to my turmoil. My phone buzzes with a text from an unknown number. Rosa wants to know if you're coming for dinner tonight. No pressure. Eli. My heart races. I should decline. Should follow Clara's advice. Should maintain professional distance. I type. I'd love to. That evening, I leave work early for the first time in years. I stop at a toy store and purchase a set of professional drawing pencils for Rosa. I have the clerk gift wrap them while I browse the children's section, eventually selecting a book about a young girl who becomes an artist. At Eli's building, I hesitate before buzzing his apartment. This is crossing a line I can't uncross, entering his private world again, this time by choice. He answers the door wearing jeans and a faded blue t-shirt, feet bare on the hardwood floor, his eyes warm at the sight of me. You came, he says simply. I promised Rosa. His lips quirk slightly. Of course. Rosa barrels past him, flinging herself into my arms. You're here. Come see my room. I laugh, allowing her to pull me inside. Eli takes the gift bags from my hand with a raised eyebrow. I shrug, following Rosa down the hallway. Her bedroom is small but cheerful. Purple walls, white furniture, drawings cover every available surface, taped to walls, pinned to a corkboard, stacked on her desk. These are amazing, no, I say, examining her artwork. You're very talented, she beams. I want to be an artist when I grow up. You already are an artist. I point to a particularly detailed drawing of what appears to be Vale Tower. This is excellent. That's where Tio works, she says proudly. And where you live. I work there, I correct gently. I live somewhere else, in a fancy apartment, she says. Tio told me. Yes, a fancy apartment. I sit on her bed. But I like staying here last night. She climbs up beside me. You can stay again. You can have my bed next time. That's very generous. I smile at her earnestness. But I wouldn't take your bed. Tio always gives up his bed for guests, she informs me. He says it's good manners. Your uncle is a good man, I say honestly. Rosa nods solemnly. The best. Eli appears in the doorway, leaning against the frame. Dinner's ready, he announces. Dad's waiting. At the table, Diego says grace again. The meal is simple. Chicken, rice, vegetables. But the care in its preparation is evident. We eat amid easy conversation, Diego sharing stories of Vale Tower's early days, Rosa describing her art class. Miss Vale brought you something, Eli says during a lull. Rosa's eyes widen. A present? I nod to Eli, who retrieves the gift bags from the counter. Rosa tears into the paper eagerly, gasping when she reveals the professional pencil set. Real artist pencils, she exclaims, examining each one. Thank you, thank you. And a book, Eli prompts, handing her the second package. She unwraps it more carefully, running her fingers over the cover. Will you read it to me? I'd be happy to, I say, throat suddenly tight with emotion. Diego watches this exchange with knowing eyes. You are good with her, he says quietly. She makes it easy. I echo Eli's words from our late-night coffee. After dinner, I help Diego clear the table while Eli supervises Rosa's bath. The simple domesticity of the task soothes something restless inside me. My son has changed since meeting you, Diego says as we wash dishes side by side. I nearly drop a plate. I doubt I've had much influence. You would be surprised. He hands me a towel. Eli carries much weight on his shoulders. Rosa, his brother's memory, his own expectations. He seems very strong, I say carefully. He is strong, but strength without purpose becomes rigid. Diego's eyes hold wisdom earned through hardship. You give him new purpose. I don't think a father sees, he interrupts gently, even when his children are blind. Before I can respond, Eli returns with Rosa in pajamas, hair still damp from her bath. Book time, he announces. We gather in the living room, Rosa nestled between us on the couch. I open the book and begin reading. The story unfolds, a young girl discovering her artistic talent, facing doubts, ultimately finding her voice through art. Rosa follows every word, asking questions about techniques mentioned in the story. Eli watches us, something soft and wondering in his gaze. Diego excuses himself for his night shift, squeezing my shoulder gently as he passes. By the time I finish reading, Rosa's eyes droop with sleep. Eli lifts her effortlessly, carrying her to her bedroom. I follow, watching from the doorway, as he tucks her in with practiced tenderness. Good night, Estrelita, he whispers, kissing her forehead. Night, Tio, she murmurs. Night, Miss Vale. Good night, sweet girl, I say softly. In the living room, Eli offers me wine, a decent Cabernet, surprising in its quality. We sit on opposite ends of the couch, the space between us charged with unspoken words. Thank you for the gifts, he says. You didn't have to do that. I wanted to. I sip my wine. She's special, Eli. I know. Pride fills his voice. Sometimes I forget she's not actually mine. She is yours, I disagree, in all the ways that matter. His eyes meet mine over his glass. How was the board meeting? The abrupt change of subject surprises me. Tense. They have concerns about the security breaches. About me, you mean? I hesitate. Some question your involvement, yes. Do you? His voice remains neutral, but tension radiates from his posture. No, I say firmly. I trust you. The words hang between us, significant in their simplicity. Eli's expression softens. That means a lot coming from you. Why me specifically? Because you trust no one. He shifts closer on the couch. I've watched you, Isabella. You hold everyone at a distance. Not everyone, I protest weakly. Yes, everyone. His eyes hold mine. Even Clara, who's known you since birth. Clara wants to control me. Clara wants to protect you, he sighs. As do I. I don't need protection, I say automatically. Everyone needs protection sometimes. His voice lowers. Even billionaire CEOs, I finish. My wine, setting the glass on the coffee table. I should go. Stay. The word emerges before he can stop it. He looks almost surprised by his own suggestion. I can't. I stand, collecting my purse. The board is already questioning my judgment. Because of me. He stands too, closer than I expected. I'm sorry for that. Don't be. I look up at him, suddenly aware of his height, his proximity. I make my own choices, Eli. And what are you choosing now? His voice roughens. My breath catches. His eyes drop to my lips, then back to my eyes. The moment stretches between us, taut with possibility. My phone rings. Clara. Again. The spell breaks. I have to go, I whisper. He steps back, nodding. I'll walk you to your car. Outside, the night air cools my flushed skin. We walk in silence to where my car waits at the curb. I unlock it but don't open the door. Thank you for dinner, I say formally, retreating behind professionalism. Thank you for coming. He shoves his hands in his pockets. Rosa was thrilled. Just Rosa. The question escapes before I can stop it. His eyes find mine in the darkness. Not just Rosa. The admission hangs between us. I should leave. Should end this before it begins. Should protect my heart and my company and my reputation. Instead, I step closer. Good night, Eli. Good night, Isabella. I drive away, watching him in my rearview mirror until he disappears inside his building. My phone rings again. Clara, persistent as always. I ignore it, focusing on the road ahead. At my penthouse, I step out of the elevator and freeze. The security panel flashes red, silent alarm triggered. Someone has been here, is possibly still here. I back into the elevator, heart pounding. I call security, then Eli. His phone rings and rings. No answer. Panic rises in my throat. I call Rosa's phone, the number she programmed into my phone last night, for emergencies. Hello. Her sleepy voice answers. Rosa, it's Miss Vale. I need to speak to your uncle. It's urgent. He's not here, she says, confusion evident. He left right after you did. Said he needed to check something at work. My blood runs cold. Eli went to Vale Tower after I left, and now my apartment has been breached. Trust. Such a simple word for such an impossible thing. Security meets me in the lobby. Armed guards escort me back to my penthouse, sweeping each room before declaring it clear. The breach was real. My safe has been tampered with, my computer accessed. We've called NYPD, the head of security informs me, and Ms. Winters is on her way. Have you located Eli Moreno? I ask, voice carefully controlled. No, ma'am, he's not responding to calls. I sink onto my sofa, mind racing. This looks bad, incredibly bad. Eli leaving immediately after I departed. My apartment breached. His sudden disappearance. Clara's warnings echo in my ears. 20 minutes later, Clara bursts through my door, still wearing evening clothes. Are you hurt? She demands. I'm fine, I assure her. Just shaken. What was taken? Nothing as far as I can tell. I gesture to the safe. They tried but couldn't get in. Her eyes narrow. Your lover boy is missing. Don't call him that. I stand, anger flaring. And he's not missing. He went to Vale Tower. Security reports no sign of him in the building. She folds her arms. Convenient timing, don't you think? Stop it, Clara. My voice sharpens. Eli wouldn't do this. Based on what? Your intimate knowledge of his character after a few conversations and one night in his apartment? Based on his actions every time Vale has been threatened. I pace the room. Based on the fact that he's had multiple opportunities to harm me or the company and has only ever protected both. Wake up, Isabella. She grabs my arm, forcing me to face her. He gained your trust, got close to you, learned your routines. This is textbook. You're wrong. I pull away, and I'm going to prove it. I grab my keys and purse, heading for the door. Clara blocks my path. Where are you going? To find Eli. Absolutely not. She stands firm. The police are on their way. You need to be here. Move, Clara, I say coldly, or I'll have security move you. Her face hardens. If you walk out that door, I'm calling an emergency board meeting. We'll discuss your fitness to lead this company. The threat stops me cold. You wouldn't dare. I would. Her voice softens. To protect you from yourself, to protect your father's legacy. My father, the ultimate weapon in Clara's arsenal. I step back, momentarily defeated. Fine, I concede. I'll stay until the police arrive. Clara relaxes visibly. Thank you. I turn away, staring out the window at the city lights. My phone buzzes in my hand, a text from an unknown number. Check your private email. Use the password Rosa gave you. My heart pounds. I move to my laptop, opening my personal email. A new message from an encrypted address sits in my inbox. Clara watches over my shoulder. What password? She asks. I remember Rosa whispering to me at dinner. My secret password is Estrelita. That's what Tio calls me. It means little star in Spanish. I don't know. I lie to Clara. Maybe my birthday? She steps away to speak with security. I quickly type Estrelita into the password field. The message unlocks. Vale Tower. Maintenance access B12. Hacker identified. Evidence secured. Come alone. Trust no one. Eli. I delete the message before Clara can see it. My mind races. Eli found something. Something he doesn't want others to know about. Something about the breaches. The police are here, Clara announces. Detective Rodriguez wants to speak with you. I nod. Decision made. I need to use the restroom first. In the bathroom, I text Rosa. Tell your uncle I got his message. Coming now. I flush the toilet for show, then wash my hands slowly. When I emerge, I approach the detective with practiced calm. Detective, I appreciate your quick response, I say smoothly. But I've just remembered a critical meeting that cannot be postponed. My head of security can provide all relevant details. Before anyone can react, I walk quickly to the elevator. Clara calls after me, but the doors close on her protests. In the garage, I take the service exit to avoid security cameras. I hail a taxi 2 blocks away. Vale Tower, I instruct the driver. Service entrance. 20 minutes later, I approach the building from the loading dock. My security badge grants me access to the maintenance corridors. The basement levels stretch before me, dimly lit and eerily silent at this hour. Access point B12, the generator room where Eli disabled the first device. I move cautiously through the maze of machinery. The door stands slightly ajar, a thin line of light visible around its edges. I push it open slowly. Eli stands before a bank of monitors, back to me. He turns at the sound, relief washing over his face when he sees me. You came, he says. Of course I did. I step inside, letting the door close behind me. What have you found? Everything. He gestures to the screens. The hacker, the breaches, the target. I move closer, examining the displays. Lines of code scroll across one monitor, security footage on another, financial records on a third. I don't understand, I admit. Watch. Eli types a command, bringing up footage from the Vale Tower security system. Timestamp, 3 days ago. A figure moves through the maintenance corridor, installing something near an electrical panel. Who is that? I ask, leaning closer. Head of IT security, Eli says grimly. Jeffrey Palmer. That's impossible. I shake my head. He's been with Vale for 15 years and feeding information to Westlake Construction for 10 of them. Eli pulls up financial records. Monthly payments through shell companies, all traced back to Lucien Drake. My stomach drops. Lucien paid Palmer to hack Vale's systems? Lucien paid Palmer to create back doors. Eli's voice hardens. He's been planning this for years, since before you ended your engagement. The implications stagger me. Lucien never loved me. He was using me from the beginning, positioning himself to steal Vale's technologies. How did you find this? I ask. When you mentioned Lucien, I started digging. He runs a hand through his hair. Palmer installed the device we found here. I recognized his handiwork, military grade, just like his background. Why come here alone? Why not go to security? Because I didn't know who else was involved. His eyes meet mine, and I didn't want to risk Rosa. If Palmer discovered I knew, understanding dawns. You were protecting her. Always. His voice roughens. But I needed to warn you. Your apartment wasn't safe. It was breached tonight, I tell him. Someone tried to access my safe. Palmer, Eli confirms. I tracked his badge usage. He entered your floor at 9:17 p.m. Clara thinks you did it. I step closer. She's called the board, threatened to question my leadership. Anger flashes in his eyes. She's trying to control you. She's trying to protect me. I echo his words from earlier. As are you. The difference, he says quietly, is that I want you to be free. She wants you to be afraid. The truth of his statement resonates deep within me. Clara has always framed her guidance in terms of risk, of danger, of my inadequacy, without her wisdom. We need to take this to the police, I say, gesturing to the monitors. And the board. Eli nods. I've copied everything to secure drives. He pulls them from his pocket. But we should be careful. Palmer has friends in high places. We need Clara, I admit reluctantly. She has the board's ear. Without her, they won't believe us. Can you trust her? His eyes search mine. With Vale Global? Yes. I take a deep breath. With my personal life? No. Fair enough. He gathers the drives. Let's go. As we turn to leave, the door swings open. Clara stands there, flanked by security guards. Her face hardens at the sight of us together. Isabella, she says coldly. Mr. Moreno, how convenient to find you both here. Clara, listen to me, I begin. Save it. She steps aside, revealing Detective Rodriguez behind her. Detective, these are the individuals I mentioned. Ms. Vale, the detective nods. Mr. Moreno, we'd like you both to come with us. On what grounds? Eli demands, questioning regarding corporate espionage and breaking and entering. Rodriguez's hand rests on his holstered weapon. Please come quietly. This is ridiculous, I protest. We've uncovered the real criminal, Jeffrey Palmer, head of IT security. Clara laughs without humor. Palmer reported the breach. He's the one who tracked Mr. Moreno's unauthorized access to this room. He's lying, Eli says firmly. We have proof. He holds up the drives. A guard steps forward to take them. Eli backs away, protective. Those are evidence, he insists. Then they'll be handled properly by the police, Clara says smoothly. Hand them over, Mr. Moreno. I meet Eli's eyes silently communicating. He hesitates, then surrenders the drives to Detective Rodriguez. Those prove Palmer is working with Lucien Drake, I tell the detective. They've been planning this for years. We'll examine all evidence thoroughly, Rodriguez assures me, though his tone suggests skepticism. Clara places a hand on my arm. Come, Isabella. Your lawyer is waiting upstairs. I'm not leaving without Eli, I state firmly. Mr. Moreno will be escorted to the precinct, Rodriguez explains. Standard procedure. Fear grips my heart. He's done nothing wrong. Then he has nothing to worry about, Clara says dismissively. Eli steps closer to me. Go with Clara, he says quietly. I'll be fine. Rosa needs you to be free. The mention of Rosa pierces my determination. She would be terrified if both Eli and I disappeared into police custody. I'll fix this, I promise him. Trust me. His eyes hold mine for a long moment. Always. As security leads him away, Clara guides me toward the elevator. You've lost your mind, Isabella, she hisses. Sneaking out to meet your maintenance man in the basement? The board will have a field day. Palmer is the hacker, I insist. The drives prove it. We'll see. She doesn't bother hiding her skepticism. For now, you need to distance yourself from this situation, from Eli Moreno. I won't abandon him. You will if you want to remain CEO of Vale Global. Her voice turns hard. Your father built this company from nothing. Will you throw it all away for a man you barely know? My father. Again. The ultimate weapon. I remain silent as we ascend to the executive floor, where my lawyer indeed waits, along with Jeffrey Palmer. Miss Vale, Palmer greets me, face a mask of concern. Thank God you're safe. It takes all my self-control not to lunge at him. Mr. Palmer, quite the coincidence finding you here so late. I came as soon as security alerted me to the breach. His eyes never quite meet mine. I'm afraid Mr. Moreno has been using his maintenance access to compromise our systems. Interesting theory, I say coldly, though it doesn't explain how he predicted breaches before they happened. Palmer shifts uncomfortably. We believe he created the threats to appear heroic. To what end? To get close to you, Miss Vale. Palmer gestures to a tablet on the conference table. We found these in his locker. Photos of me, entering Vale Tower, at public events, with my mother, years ago. My stomach turns. These are from news articles, I point out. Public images. The collection suggests obsession, Clara says gently. Isabella, he targeted you specifically. This is absurd. I push away from the table. Eli Moreno has had multiple opportunities to harm me. Instead, he's protected me, my company, and my personal security repeatedly. A long con, Palmer suggests. Build trust, then strike. And what exactly would he gain? I demand. What's his motive? Access to Vale technology, Clara says, the Nakamura patent specifically. Which mean nothing to a maintenance worker, I counter, but everything to a competitor like Lucien Drake. Palmer's face pales slightly. Clara notices her eyes narrowing. What do you know about Lucien's involvement? She asks him sharply. Nothing, he says too quickly. I merely speculated that a competitor might be behind this. I see it then. The flicker of panic in his eyes. The slight tremor in his hand. My lawyer notices too, straightening in his chair. Detective, he says to Rodriguez, who has joined us. I suggest you examine Mr. Palmer's financial records for the past decade, particularly payments from shell companies associated with Westlake Construction and Lucien Drake. Rodriguez looks between us, professional caution in his expression. On what grounds? The evidence on those drives, I say firmly, and Mr. Palmer's rather telling reaction just now. Clara studies Palmer with new suspicion. Jeffrey, is there something you need to tell us? Palmer's composure cracks. This is outrageous. I've served Vale Global faithfully for 15 years, and been paid twice for at least 10 of them, I guess. By Vale and by Lucien. His eyes dart to the exits. Rodriguez notices, moving subtly to block the door. I think we should continue this conversation at the precinct, the detective suggests. Mr. Palmer, would you come with me, please? What happens next occurs in seconds. Palmer lunges for his tablet. Rodriguez moves to intercept him. Clara steps back, alarmed. Palmer's hand emerges from his pocket holding not a weapon, but a small device with a flashing light. "Server room," he yells, pressing a button. It's all gone. Alarms blare throughout the building. Emergency lights flash. Security radios crackle with urgent voices. Rodriguez tackles Palmer to the ground, restraining him as he laughs wildly. Too late, Palmer gloats. It's already wiped. The patents, the research, everything. Horror washes over me. The Nakamura patents, the merger details, Vale Global's entire digital infrastructure. Gone. Clara grabs my arm. Server room, now. We race through the corridor, security personnel streaming past us toward the alarms. The server room door stands open, smoke billowing from within. Technicians work frantically at terminals. Status, I demand. Critical failure, a tech reports. Cascading data corruption across all systems. Backups? Compromised. Someone installed incendiary devices inside the backup servers. My mind races. Eli would know how to stop this. Eli would understand the systems. Eli would fix what's broken. Where's Moreno? I ask security. Where did they take him? Downtown precinct, Grogard answers. But Ms. Vale, we need you to evacuate. The fire suppression. I'm already running. Clara calling after me. In the garage, I jump into my car and speed toward the police station. Traffic laws become suggestions as I race through the city. At the precinct, I stride to the desk sergeant. Isabella Vale, I announce. I need to see Eli Moreno immediately. Miss Vale, the sergeant begins, clearly recognizing me. Mr. Moreno is being processed. Vale Tower is burning, I tell him, and he's the only one who can stop it. 10 minutes later, Eli emerges, escorted by an officer. His eyes find mine immediately. Isabella, he says, relief evident in his voice. Palmer triggered something, I explain quickly. The servers are failing. Everything's being destroyed. Understanding dawns in his eyes. The dead man's switch. I saw it in his code. Can you stop it? Maybe. He turns to the officer. I need to go. Now. Orders just came through, the officer confirms. You're released to Ms. Vale's custody. In the car, Eli calls Vale's IT department, issuing rapid instructions. I drive while he coordinates with the team remotely. It's a distributed attack, he explains between calls, not just destroying data, but rewriting it, making recovery impossible. Can it be stopped? Not entirely. His voice turns grim. But maybe contained, if we isolate the Nakamura servers in time. At Vale Tower, emergency vehicles surround the entrance. Firefighters stream in and out. Employees gather in confused clusters. Eli jumps from the car before I fully stop, running toward the service entrance. I follow, security recognizing me and letting us pass. In the server room, chaos reigns. Technicians work frantically at terminals. Fire suppression systems have activated, coating everything in chemical residue. The heat is intense, even through the protective gear someone thrusts at us. Eli moves immediately to a specific server bank. This one, he says, examining connections. It's isolated from the main network. Palmer might not have reached it yet. He works with swift precision, disconnecting cables, rerouting power. I stand nearby, useless in this technical realm, but unwilling to leave his side. There, he says finally. Physical isolation complete. They're safe. The patents and the merger details. He stands, wiping sweat from his brow. The rest, I'm sorry, Isabella. It's gone. The weight of this disaster tattles on my shoulders. Years of research, corporate records, financial data, all destroyed in minutes by a man we trusted for 15 years. Clara appears in the doorway, face streaked with soot. Isabella, she calls. The board is assembled in the auxiliary conference room. Now? I ask incredulously. Now. Her expression leaves no room for argument. This is a corporate emergency. I turn to Eli, torn. He nods, understanding. Go. I'll finish here. I'll come find you, I promise. In the auxiliary conference room, the board members sit in stunned silence. Their faces reflect shock, anger, fear. Clara stands at the head of the table. My place. Isabella, she gestures for me to join her. The board requires answers. Palmer sabotaged our systems, I state flatly. He's been working for Lucian Drake for years. And you brought Eli Moreno back to our building after he was arrested, a board member accuses, against police orders. He wasn't charged with anything, I correct, and he just saved the Nakamura patents while the rest of you were hiding in this room. Clara places a hand on my arm. Isabella, please. The board is concerned about your judgment, your emotional state. My emotional state? I pull away, anger flaring. Our company was just attacked from within, data destroyed, systems compromised. And you're worried about my feelings? We're worried about your relationship with Moreno, another board member states bluntly. It's clouding your perspective. The room falls silent. All eyes on me, waiting for denial, for confirmation, for weakness. I stand straighter, channeling every lesson my father taught me about power, about leadership, about courage. Eli Moreno saved this company tonight, I say clearly. He identified the real threat when everyone else was looking in the wrong direction. He protected our most valuable assets while others pointed fingers. Because of his feelings for you, Clara suggests softly. No, I meet her gaze steadily. Because of his integrity, something this room could learn from. I turn to address the entire board. Vale Global faces an unprecedented crisis. Our systems are compromised, our data largely destroyed. We need to focus on recovery, not on who I choose to trust. The press will have a field day, a board member warns. CEO and maintenance worker, the optics are disastrous. Then let them, I say firmly. I won't apologize for recognizing value regardless of title or position. That's exactly what my father would have done. The invocation of my father silences them. Clara watches me with an unreadable expression. What do you propose? She asks finally. Full transparency about the attack. Credit Eli with saving the patents. Begin immediate system reconstruction. I look at each board member in turn. And unanimous support from this board, at least publicly. Reluctant nods circle the table. Clara studies me with new eyes. Not disapproval, but reassessment. All in favor, she asks. Hands rise slowly one by one. Support, however reluctant, is secured. Thank you. I turn to leave, then pause at the door. And Clara, I'll be taking the rest of the night off. I find Eli in the security office, giving his statement to Detective Rodriguez. Rosa sits nearby, clutching a stuffed animal. Diego stands protective behind her. Miss Vale, Rosa calls, spotting me. She runs to me, wrapping her arms around my waist. Tio said the bad man tried to hurt your building. I kneel to her level. He did, sweetheart, but your uncle stopped him. Because he fixes everything, she says with complete confidence. Yes. I look up at Eli, who watches us with tired eyes. He does. Later, after statements and reports and assurances, we stand in the Vale Tower lobby. Dawn breaks over the city, painting the sky in shades of promise. Come home with us, Eli says quietly. Just for today, just to rest. Home. Such a simple word for such a complex concept. I look at Rosa, sleeping in Diego's arms, at Eli, steady despite everything. Yes, I say. Outside, reporters gather, shouting questions, cameras flash. Security holds them back as we move toward my car. In full view of the press, of the world, Eli takes my hand. I don't pull away. Ready? He asks. Ready, I confirm. Together we step into the morning light, into the storm that awaits, into whatever comes next. I wake to unfamiliar sounds, dishes clinking, quiet voices, a child's laughter. For a moment I forget where I am. Then memory returns. Vale Tower. The fire. Eli's apartment. I sit up on the familiar couch, now my bed, for the second time. Sunlight streams through the windows, indicating late morning. I've slept for hours. The realization startles me. I never sleep past 6. The bedroom door opens. Rosa peeks in, face brightening when she sees me awake. She's wearing a yellow dress, hair in a single braid down her back. "You're up," she exclaims, bouncing into the room. "Tio said to let you sleep, but I kept checking." I smile despite my exhaustion. "What time is it?" "Almost lunchtime." She climbs onto the couch beside me. "Are you staying with us now?" The innocent question catches me off guard. "No, sweetheart, just visiting." Her face falls slightly. "But you're here again." "It was a special situation," I explain gently. "Last night was difficult. Because of the bad man." She nods seriously. "Tio told me he tried to hurt your company." "That's right." "And Tio stopped him." Pride fills her voice. "He always stops the bad guys." The simple faith in her statement touches me. "Your uncle is very brave." "And strong," she adds. "And smart." "All those things," I agree. She studies my face, suddenly serious. "You look sad." The observation, so direct and perceptive, catches me by surprise. "I'm just tired, Rosa." "No." She shakes her head firmly. "You're sad. I can tell." I hesitate, uncertain how to respond to this child's insight. "A lot happened yesterday," I say finally. "Some of it was scary." She nods, accepting this. "When I'm scared, Tio lets me draw." She slides off the couch. "I'll get my sketchbook." Before I can respond, she dashes to her room. Eli appears from the kitchen, holding a mug of coffee, his eyes warm at the sight of me. "Morning," he says, offering the mug, though barely at this point. "Thank you." I accept the coffee gratefully. "What time is it really?" "Almost noon." He sits in the armchair opposite me. "You needed the rest." I take a sip, savoring the rich flavor. "Any news from Vale Tower?" It reports the damage was contained to non-essential systems. His expression turns grave. "The patents are secure. Financial records, too, thanks to off-site backups. And Palmer? In custody, no bail." A grim satisfaction colors his voice. "They found the payments from Lucien, years of them." "And Lucien? In the wind?" He leans forward. "But they'll find him." I nod, processing this information. The enormity of yesterday's events crashes over me again. The breach, the accusations, the fire, the board meeting, my reputation, my company, my life, forever altered. "Hey," Eli's voice gentles. "We won. Remember that." "Did we?" I look up at him. Vale Global lost years of data. The board questions my leadership. The press is having a field day. The patents are safe, he counters. The real criminal is caught, and you're still CEO. For now. I set down the coffee, until the board decides my emotional entanglement compromises my judgment. His expression tightens. Is that what I am? An emotional entanglement? Before I can answer, Rosa returns, clutching her sketchbook and pencils. The ones I gave her. Here, she announces, climbing onto the couch beside me. We can draw together. She opens the book to a blank page, carefully selects a pencil, and begins sketching with surprising confidence for her age. After a moment, she looks up expectantly. You too, she insists, offering me a pencil. I accept it awkwardly. I'm not very good at drawing. That's okay, she shrugs. It's not for being good. It's for feeling better. Her simple wisdom silences my protests. I begin to draw, hesitant strokes becoming more confident as minutes pass. Rosa works beside me, completely absorbed in her creation. Eli watches us from the armchair, something soft and wondering in his expression. The moment feels suspended in time. This small, bright apartment, a child's art, the quiet companionship of shared activity. Done, Rosa declares eventually. She holds up her drawing, a smiling figure that's clearly me, standing between two smaller figures that must be Rosa and Eli. Above them, a big sun shines down. It's beautiful, I say honestly. You captured us perfectly. She beams, then points to my paper. What did you draw? I look down at my own creation, Vale Tower, but not the sleek, imposing structure I see every day. This version has softer edges, windows that glow with warmth rather than corporate sterility. My building, I explain, but different. Happier, Rosa declares. See? Drawing helps. She's right, I realize with surprise. The knot of anxiety in my chest has loosened. The weight of yesterday's disasters feels slightly more manageable. What do you say to lunch? Eli asks, breaking the peaceful silence. Grilled cheese, Rosa exclaims. Please, Tio. He laughs, the sound warming the room. Sure, pequeña. Grilled cheese it is. In the small kitchen, I watch him prepare the simple meal. His movements are efficient, practiced, a man accustomed to caring for others, to creating home from whatever circumstances life provides. Can I help? I offer. He glances over his shoulder, surprised. You know how to make grilled cheese? I can learn, I say, moving beside him. He hands me a spatula. Flip when the bottom turns golden, not before. Rosa sits at the table, drawing again. The domesticity of the scene strikes me. This could be any family on any Saturday. No corporate empires, no security breaches, no board meetings or press scrutiny. My phone buzzes from the living room. Reality intrudes. I resist the urge to check it immediately, focusing instead on the task at hand. The bread turns golden. I flip the sandwich carefully. Perfect, Eli approves. You're a natural. Hardly. I smile despite myself. But thank you for the vote of confidence. We eat at the small table, Rosa chattering about school and friends. Eli asks questions, genuinely interested in her answers. I watch their interaction, the easy affection between them. Miss Vale, Rosa says suddenly. Are you and Tio friends now? Eli nearly chokes on his sandwich. I hide my smile behind my napkin. I think so, I answer carefully. What do you think? She considers this seriously. You look at him a lot, and he smiles when you're here. Rosa, Eli warns gently. What? She looks between us, confused by his embarrassment. It's true. You're always sad except when Miss Vale comes. My heart clenches at her words. I glance at Eli, who studies his plate with sudden intensity. Your uncle has a lot of responsibilities, I tell her. That can make anyone sad sometimes. But you make him happy, she insists. He told Grandpa so. Eli's head snaps up. Rosa, that's enough. She falls silent, lower lip trembling slightly. I reach across the table, covering her small hand with mine. I'm glad I make your uncle happy, I say softly, because you both make me happy too. Her smile returns instantly. See, Tio, I told you. Eli's eyes meet mine across the table, filled with something I can't quite name. Gratitude, perhaps, or hope, or something deeper that neither of us is ready to acknowledge. After lunch, my phone buzzes again, more insistent this time. I finally check it. 27 missed calls, 14 voicemails, 43 texts. The world demands my attention. I have to go, I say reluctantly. Eli nods, understanding without explanation. I'll drive you. No, I shake my head. You should stay with Rosa. I'll call a car. But you'll come back? Rosa asks, eyes wide with hope. I kneel before her, taking her small hands in mine. I will, I promise. Pinky promise? She holds out her little finger. Pinky promise. I link my finger with hers, sealing the vow. She throws her arms around my neck. Don't be sad anymore, she whispers. My throat tightens with emotion. I'll try, sweetheart. Over her shoulder, Eli watches us. Something shifts in his expression, the guardedness falling away, revealing the man beneath the protective armor. At the door, we stand close, neither wanting to end the moment. Thank you, I say simply. For what? For this, I gesture to the apartment. For letting me be part of your world, even briefly. His hand rises, hesitates, then touches my cheek gently. It doesn't have to be brief. My breath catches. His eyes hold mine, searching for permission, for acceptance, for reciprocity. My phone buzzes again, breaking the spell. I step back, reality reasserting itself. I have to go. He nods, dropping his hand. I know. Outside in the harsh light of day, I check my messages. Clara, the board, the press. Vale Global in crisis. Isabella Vale, CEO, required to lead, to reassure, to control. But as the car whisks me back toward Manhattan, toward responsibility and power, I realize something has fundamentally changed. The woman returning to Vale Tower is not the same one who fled it yesterday, because somewhere in Queens, in a small apartment filled with drawings, a little girl made me promise not to be sad, and for the first time in years, I think I might be able to keep that promise. 3 days pass, in a blur of crisis, management, press conferences, board meetings, system rebuilding. I barely sleep, existing on coffee and determination. Eli returns to work, resuming his maintenance duties despite my offer of a security position. I'm where I need to be, he says simply. We see each other in passing, professional nods in corridors, brief updates in my office, always with others present, always proper. The memory of his hand on my cheek fades beneath corporate protocol. Rosa calls each night, brief conversations about her day, her drawings, her hopes that I'll visit soon. I promise each time, knowing the promise grows hollower with each passing day. On the 4th night, I finally return to my penthouse. The security system has been completely rebuilt, Palmer's access removed. Still, I check every room before settling in. The space feels emptier than ever, sterile in its luxury. I pour a glass of wine and carry it to the window. The city sprawls before me, indifferent to personal crises. My phone rings, not Clara or the board, but Eli. Hey, I answer, heart quickening. Hey yourself, he replies. His voice sounds tired. How are you holding up? Surviving. I take a sip of wine. You? Same. A pause. Rosa misses you. I miss her too. The admission comes easily. And you. A silence stretches, heavy with unspoken words. Finally, "Are you home?" "Yes, first night back." "How does it feel?" "Empty," I admit. "Your apartment felt more like home in 2 days than this place has in 3 years." He inhales sharply. "Isabella." "I'm sorry," I backtrack. "That was inappropriate." "No." His voice softens. "It wasn't." Another pause, less awkward than the first. "Have dinner with us tomorrow," he says suddenly. "Rosa's been asking, and my father wants to thank you properly for clearing my name." "I'd like that," I say before I can overthink it. "What time?" 7? I can pick you up." "I'll drive myself," I counter. Less attention that way. He accepts this with a quiet, "Okay, then. Good night, Isabella." "Good night, Eli." I sleep better than I have in days. The next evening I leave work early, ignoring Clara's raised eyebrows. I wear casual clothes, jeans and a simple blouse, jewelry minimal. My driver drops me several blocks from Eli's building to avoid press attention. Diego opens the door, greeting me with surprising warmth. "Miss Vale, welcome back to our home." "Thank you, Diego." I hand him a bottle of wine. "And please call me Isabella." Rosa races from her room, launching herself into my arms. "You came back." "I promised, didn't I?" I twirl her around, enjoying her delighted giggle. Eli emerges from the kitchen, dish towel over his shoulder. Our eyes meet, and something electric passes between us. "Welcome," he says simply. Dinner is simple but delicious. Pasta with homemade sauce, salad, garlic bread. The conversation flows easily. Diego sharing stories of Vale Tower's early days, Rosa describing her latest art project. "She's quite talented," Diego says proudly, "like her father was." "Miguel was the artist in the family," Eli explains, noticing my questioning look. "I just fix things." "Miguel could draw anything," Diego continues. "Landscapes, portraits, buildings. He had a gallery interested in his work before." His voice trails off. The table falls silent. Rosa studies her plate, suddenly subdued. "Before the accident," Eli finishes quietly. I place my fork down carefully. "I'd like to hear about Miguel, if that's okay." Diego and Eli exchange glances. Rosa looks up, watching the adults carefully. "What would you like to know?" Eli asks finally. "Anything you want to share," I reply. "He seems important to all of you." Diego stands, moving to a shelf where photos sit in simple frames. He brings one to me, a younger Eli with his arm around a slightly taller man with the same dark eyes, but a more open expression. "My sons," Diego says simply. Miguel was 4 years older than Eli, always dreaming, always creating. I study the photo. Rosa looks like him. "Yes," Diego smiles sadly. "Same eyes, same spirit." Rosa pipes up suddenly. "Daddy used to draw me pictures every day, even when he was working." "He carried a sketchbook everywhere," Eli adds, his voice soft with memory. "Even on construction sites, drove his bosses crazy." "He worked construction?" I ask, though I already know from Clara's background report. Eli's expression darkens slightly. "For Westlake, good money, flexible schedule for his art." The name Westlake sends a chill through me. The company Lucien represented. The company that covered up Miguel's death. "He was good at it," Diego continues, unaware of the tension. "Foreman by 28, set to become project manager." "Until the River Heights project," Eli says quietly. Diego crosses himself. Rosa looks down again, silent. The temperature in the room seems to drop. "You don't have to talk about this," I say quickly. "No." Eli meets my gaze directly. "You should know, especially with Lucien involved." He takes a deep breath. "Miguel was supervising a residential high-rise, River Heights Towers. He reported safety concerns multiple times, inadequate supports, substandard materials. The company ignored him. Diego stands taking Rosa's hand. Come, pequeña, help me with dessert. They disappear into the kitchen. Eli continues, voice controlled, distant. One day, a support wall collapsed during inspection. Miguel was checking the very section he'd reported. 4 stories crashed down. He died instantly. My throat tightens. I'm so sorry, Eli. Westlake claimed Miguel signed off on the construction. His hands clench on the table. Produced documentation with his signature. Said he was negligent. But he wasn't, I say, understanding immediately. No, the signatures were forged. His eyes meet mine. Just like the contract they tried to get you to sign. The connection clicks into place. Lucian. He was Westlake's counsel. Eli's voice hardens. He orchestrated the cover-up, threatened witnesses, buried evidence. And you confronted him. I reach across the table, covering his clenched fist with my hand. I confronted Garrett Phillips, the site manager. He doesn't pull away from my touch. I had proof the signatures were forged, copies of Miguel's real reports. What happened? Phillips panicked, called security, claimed I assaulted him. His jaw tightens. Lucien showed up with papers, settlement offer with a gag order. Drop all claims, sign the NDA, get a small payout. You refused. Of course. A ghost of a smile touches his lips. I may fix things for a living, but I don't fix injustice with silence. What about the assault charges? Dropped eventually. Lack of evidence. His hand turns beneath mine, fingers intertwining. But my reputation was destroyed. My security company collapsed. No one would hire an unstable veteran with a grudge. Except Vale Global, I realize. Your father hired my father years ago, he explains. When Diego mentioned my situation, your father offered me maintenance work. No questions asked. Warmth spreads through my chest. My father, the man I've spent years trying to emulate, to make proud even after his death. He saw value in Eli when others saw only risk. My father was a good judge of character, I say softly. Yes. Eli's eyes hold mine. And so are you, despite what Clara thinks. Diego returns with Rosa and dessert. Flan, golden and perfect. The conversation shifts to lighter topics, but something fundamental has changed between Eli and me. A shared understanding, a deeper connection. After dinner, Rosa insists on showing me her latest drawings. Her bedroom walls display a gallery of artwork, landscapes, animals, people. One catches my eye, a familiar figure in a suit, standing beside a smaller figure with spiky hair. Is that me and Eli? I ask. Rosa nods. From when you came to my school play. See? You're both smiling. I study the drawing. She's captured something essential about both of us. Not just physical features, but something deeper. A connection visible even to a child's eyes. It's beautiful, I tell her. You really are talented, Rosa. Like Daddy, she says proudly. Tio says I got all his good parts. I believe that. I sit on her bed, patting the space beside me. She joins me, leaning against my side with casual affection. Miss Vale, she says after a moment. Are you and Tio going to get married? I nearly choke in surprise. What? No, sweetheart, we're just friends. She looks skeptical. But you like him, and he likes you. A lot. Relationships are complicated, Rosa. I search for words a child might understand. Adults need time to figure things out. Daddy always said people make things too hard, she says, with surprising wisdom. He said when you love someone, you just tell them. My heart pounds against my ribs. Your daddy sounds very wise. He was. She nods solemnly. Tio is too. He's just Sadder. Because he misses your father, I suggest gently. And because he thinks it's his fault. Her voice drops to a whisper. He thinks he should have saved Daddy. The innocent revelation stuns me. Of course, Eli carries this burden. The protector who couldn't protect his own brother. The fixer who couldn't fix the most important thing. That's not true, I tell her firmly. Your uncle couldn't have prevented the accident. I know. She looks up at me with serious eyes. But he doesn't believe me when I tell him. Maybe he'd believe both of us, I suggest. Her face brightens. Will you tell him? I'll try, sweetheart. She hugs me tightly. I knew you'd help. You make everything better. The simple faith in her words fills me with both joy and terror. This child believes in me, trusts me, expects me to heal wounds I've only just discovered. Later, as I prepare to leave, Eli walks me to my car. The night air is cool, stars barely visible through city lights. Thank you for coming, he says. It meant a lot to Rosa, to all of us. Thank you for sharing McGill with me, I reply. I know that wasn't easy. He shrugs, looking up at the sky. It gets easier, slowly. Rosa told me something, I say carefully, about you blaming yourself. His posture stiffens immediately. Kids hear more than we think. Is it true? He doesn't answer immediately. When he does, his voice is raw with emotion. I should have been there. Should have investigated sooner. Should have protected him. You couldn't have known, I say gently. I knew Westlake's reputation. His eyes meet mine, filled with old pain. I knew Lucy and Drake was involved in their legal department. I knew Miguel was concerned about safety standards. That doesn't make his death your fault, doesn't it? He runs a hand through his hair. I spent 15 years in the military protecting strangers in foreign countries, but I couldn't protect my own brother 10 miles from home. I step closer, placing my hand on his chest. His heart beats steady beneath my palm. You're protecting his daughter, I remind him, giving her a home, love, stability. It's not enough, he whispers. It's everything, I counter. Rosa is happy, Eli, thriving. Miguel would be proud of the life you've given her. His hand covers mine, warm against my skin. When did you get so wise, Isabella Vale? I'm learning, I admit, from a very special, almost 8-year-old. A smile touches his lips, softening the grief in his eyes. She is pretty special. Like her uncle. The words slip out before I can stop them. His gaze intensifies. The space between us charges with unspoken feelings. My breath catches as his free hand rises to touch my cheek, just as it did days ago. Isabella, he murmurs, voice rough with emotion. A camera flash explodes nearby, then another. We spring apart, startled by the sudden intrusion. Miss Vale, a voice calls from the darkness. Is this your new boyfriend? Comment on your relationship with Vale, employee Eli Moreno. Paparazzi, here, in Queens, following me to Eli's home, invading the sanctuary we've created. Go inside, I tell him urgently, now. I'm not leaving you to face them alone, he protests. Please, Eli, think of Rosa. The mention of his niece decides him. He backs toward the building, eyes never leaving mine. Call me when your home's safe, he insists. I will. I turn to face the photographers, CEO mask firmly in place. Gentlemen, you're trespassing on private property. I suggest you leave before I call the police. Is Vale Global hiring all its employees this way? One calls out. Special interviews in Queen's apartments? Anger flashes hot in my chest. Mr. Moreno saved Vale Global from a cyber attack. He deserves respect, not harassment. Is he the reason you've been absent from Vale Tower? Another presses. The board questioning your leadership, Ms. Vale. No comment. I stride to my car. unlocking it remotely. Now leave these people alone. Cameras continue flashing as I drive away, heart pounding with rage and fear. Not for myself. I've weathered media storms before, but for Eli, for Rosa, for the simple life I've just exposed to public scrutiny. At my penthouse, I call Clara. She answers immediately. "You've seen the photos," I say without greeting. "Not yet," she replies. "But I've heard." "Queens? Isabella? Really?" "I was having dinner with the family of the man who saved our company," I state firmly. Nothing improper about that. The photos suggest otherwise. Her voice turns gentle. "Izzy, I'm worried about you, about Vale Global. Don't be." I pace my living room. I know what I'm doing. Do you? The question hangs between us, because from here it looks like you're risking everything for a man you barely know. "I know him better than you think," I counter. "And I know Lucien was behind the attack, just as he was behind Miguel Moreno's death." Clara falls silent. When she speaks again, her voice has changed. "What are you saying?" "I'm saying Lucien's vendetta against me connects directly to his cover-up of the River Heights collapse." I stop pacing. Eli confronted Westlake 3 years ago. Now Lucien targets Vale specifically, using the same forgery techniques. "That's actually plausible," Clara admits reluctantly. "It's more than plausible. It's the truth." I take a deep breath. "Clara, I need you on my side, not questioning me at every turn." "I've always been on your side, Isabella." Her voice softens. "Since you were born, since your mother died, since you took over Vale." "Then trust me now," I plead. "Trust that I know what I'm doing, with the company, and with Eli." A long pause follows. Finally, "The press will be relentless tomorrow." "Let them," I say firmly. "I have nothing to hide." After we hang up, I call Eli as promised. He answers immediately. "Are you okay?" "I'm fine," I assure him. "But you should prepare Rosa for possible attention. The photos will likely hit. The morning news. Already ahead of you," he sighs. "Diego's taking her to his sister's upstate tomorrow, just in case." "I'm so sorry, Eli. I never meant to bring this to your door." "Hey," his voice gentles, "this isn't your fault. It's the price of knowing Isabella Vale." "A steep price," I say bitterly. "Worth it," he counters without hesitation. My heart swells at his simple declaration. "Eli, get some rest," he says. "Tomorrow will be challenging enough. For both of us. We've faced worse." His confidence steadies me. "Good night, Isabella." "Good night, Eli." I sleep poorly, dreaming of cameras flashing, of Rosa crying, of Eli turning away in disappointment. Morning arrives with the predicted media storm. My phone explodes with notifications. My assistant forwards dozens of media requests. The board calls an emergency meeting, and through it all, one thought sustains me. Worth it. Eli thinks I'm worth it. I only hope he still believes that when the storm passes. The headlines scream from every news outlet. Vale, Iris, caught with maintenance man. Isabella, Vale's secret queen's romance. Board questions. Vale CEO's judgment amid security breach. The photos are everywhere. Eli's hand on my cheek, my hand on his chest. Our faces close, expressions intimate. The images make our private moment public property, turning something tender into tabloid fodder. Clara meets me at the elevator, tablet in hand displaying the worst of the headlines. "Emergency board meeting in 20 minutes, she announces. "They want a statement." "Fine." I stride past her toward my office. "I'll tell them the truth." "Which is?" She hurries to keep pace. "That Eli Moreno saved Vale Global from a catastrophic security breach." I remove my coat, hanging it precisely. That I was expressing my gratitude to him and his family. that his personal relationship with me is irrelevant to his professional contributions. And the photos, she presses, the obvious intimacy,